Bustling Philadelphia on I-95, a gorgeous night for basketball. Welcome to the city of brotherly love. It's Friday night, and live on 2K Sports, we're going to bring you the NBA in all its excitement. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. Now a chance, guys, to examine the rebounding numbers over the past months for Harris.
In the last few months, the rebounding has sort of taken a bit of a dive for him. And a lot of factors could be the cause, but it's a trend that coach would probably like to see him reverse.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Sixers coach Brett Brown helped build this team from ground zero. There were some lean years in Philly, but Brown helped set the values and the culture for this team. Brown said, "Can you teach? Can you cultivate relationships? And do you bring energy? Those three qualities are what I've hoped to create throughout my tenure here." Kevin, mission accomplished.
He's done a terrific job. Thanks, David.
Yeah, Kevin, the front office shakeup this summer for the Grizzlies. Now, the new leadership wants to take more of a long-term, proactive approach to things.
And the starting group for the Grizzlies. Jackson and Valanciunas, they're in the middle. Morant and Allen at the guard spots. And it's Crowder in at the small forward position. And for the 76ers, the tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. And many fans in Memphis had hoped for a change. But, Chris, they still had some question marks with this new leadership.
Yeah, Kevin, that's because they're relatively young and unproven. Former lawyers rather than basketball minds. But we're seeing that league-wide, teams are going with former agents and lawyers in their front office.
Now here is Harris. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here. It's going to be on Jay Crowder.
Yeah, he was the 19th pick of the 2011 NBA draft. I mean, Harris entered the league after a quality year as a Tennessee Volunteer. Well, you look at Tobias Harris, I mean, it's remarkable the way he's improved. His confidence from three-point range, a huge part of it.
Shooting two.
That's good from Harris. Well, you look at Harris's long-range shooting. Nothing special, Chris, through the first 6 years of his career. But then he turned it around.
Well, Kevin, you know he had laser eye surgery in the summer of 2017. And after that, his shooting improved dramatically. Man, I got to go get surgery now. Anyway, maybe he should be a spokesperson based on how well it worked out for him.
Well, we knew that Tobias Harris would be one of the big names during free agency this past summer.
Wasn't a lot of speculation for him when free agency hit. Ends up staying with the Sixers, and I think it makes sense for both sides, and he fits nicely next to Embiid.
And the dunk by Valanciunas.
Oh, he uses his physical tools to the fullest when attacking the defense. That's a heads-up play by Valanciunas.
Here's Simmons. That's tipped. And now the Grizzlies, fast break. Crowder with the ball, and it's good for two. Here's Philadelphia. Simmons feeling it out a bit. On the wing, Harris. Kicks it out to Richardson. Just 5 on the clock. Over Allen. And the 76ers get it back. And the dunk by Horford.
I mean, you love to see that kind of effort on the offensive boards. Horford might be into his 30s, but he still brings energy.
Now here's Morant. 26 points for him last game against the Mavericks in Dallas.
And we got to talk about his 4 steals on the night. That's a complete performance at both ends of the floor.
And Simmons slams it in.
That's all you have to do. Throw it in Simmons' general direction. He'll take care of the rest.
Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And purely from a physical standpoint, Ja Morant has it all. The height, the long arms, the frame to put on more weight, and few players are more explosive athletically.
And he knocks down the first one. And with Morant, you not only get the physical attributes, Greg, you get the mental toughness and awareness.
Yeah, this kid loves to compete. The bigger the game, the bigger he plays. I think we're looking at a potential all-NBA performer when it's all said and done.
So he gets them both.
And one of the younger players to enter the 2019 draft, Morant, wise beyond his years.
Now here's Simmons. He picked up 21 points in their last win against the Bucks in Milwaukee.
It was his rebound that stood out even more to me. I mean, they could not keep him off the glass.
Now Crowder following Tobias Harris's three-point attempt. And it's sent back by Horford.
Oh, you can't be careless around Horford. Throw up a weak shot around him, he'll send it back.
Simmons. The teardrop falls in. Simmons got his second bucket tonight.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Richardson against Allen. Crowder feeling it out a bit. And Embiid with the block.
Oh, you got to be careful around Embiid. When he's around, he's capable of coming up with these blocks.
Jacks up a three. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. And Greg, Al Horford over the summer opting out of a contract with Boston, the final year with the Celtics. A bit of a surprise to fans.
You know, Horford said he wanted to test free agency. Talks between him and Boston abruptly ended, was wooed by several teams, but ultimately signed on with the Sixers.
I even got my very own initials inscribed in my sheets. Subtle reminders of key. Genius. Spoiler alert, the second act is tragic. And everyone that wants the worst for me is asking what happens. Yeah. So many times I started walking backwards. Like Charlemagne, I see the light and see the darkest patches. Bury me and I'll be born again. I walk in godly form amongst the mortal men. I got some real across the border fence. I made a note of the mistakes we can't afford again. Like I said, can of words and I'm the early bird. Wanna hang, but I'm too busy doing dirty work. Hit him back and say we'll link up on the 33rd.
And with the pause in the action, let's look at the numbers for Simmons. First in field goal percentage, 10th in assists. And he's in the top 20 in steals, bringing that focus and intensity at both ends.
And you're right. He's been the pinnacle of scoring efficiency. Never seems to take a bad shot. That's why he's tops in field goal percentage. And stolen by Horford. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Richardson. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Now here's Morant. D right on him. Here's Jackson. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That one on Embiid.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D. The Grizzlies have been a winning team for most of the last decade. Injuries snapped their playoff streak back in 18, but the silver lining, a top draft pick they used to select Jaren Jackson.
That's good from Jackson. And in his rookie season, Jaren Jackson, the youngest player in the league, he seemed NBA ready.
And already he impacts the game on both ends of the floor. A ton of upside with this young man. He's already helping the Grizz win games.
Both free throws good from Jackson. The 76ers leading by 5. Richardson the pass to Embiid. And here in the first quarter with a little over 3.5 minutes played.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now here's Morant. He seems to always be finding ways to score, averaging around 23.5 points a game. Over Horford, and it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Now the 76ers with it. They're on a third. Oh, the power on that throwdown. Wow.
The versatility of Simmons astounding, amazing, impressive. Dunks like this are just insane.
Now here's Morant. Guarded by Simmons. Out of bounds. It'll be 76ers ball. And here's a look at some numbers for Horford.
And suddenly his feel for the three-point shot has left him. It's been a tough go the past 5 games. The percentage from long range, not close to what it was earlier, but he's not going to give up on it, and he'll try to get it going here tonight.
Now here's Simmons. 6 points for him. And the rejection by Jackson. Good on the bucket. Simmons got 8 points.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Morant with it. The pass to Jackson. Kicks it to Morant. Pass to Valanciunas. A putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Now here is Harris. And you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. Here's Crowder. And it's sent back by Horford. And he's able to get it back.
This quarter has been hit or miss for him. Mostly miss.
Outside, Simmons. And another turnover here by Philadelphia. And we have some time now to show you which rookies have the greatest impact offensively over the course of the last month. And you look at Morant, leading the league in points per game. Such a great player. And, of course, Brandon Clark.
These two rookies have been going head-to-head in the box scores for a while now. There have been a few big nights for both of them.
Now here's Morant. Here's Allen to the left side wing. 6 on the shot clock. Morant kicks to Allen from the arc. The shot will not fall. Good work defensively by Richardson.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
The pump fake kept the D off balance and gave him room. The creation of the super teams, Chris, is enough being done to ensure a competitive balance in the NBA.
I think so. I think that every year we're going to have to evolve in trying to do enough and to see what happened the previous year. But yeah, and the fact remains, though, Kevin, is, I like working with you. You're my friend. I would go work with you. And in basketball, you want to go play with your friends.
Same stuff, yeah.
Stop that?
Right.
I don't know. When guys get to hang out in the summer and say, wouldn't it be cool if we got to play together, our kids to play together, and we could win one? That's going to be hard to deter. So I just think it's about how strong the will of the friends are, and more importantly, what is the league doing to kind of not necessarily give as much incentive to do that. But I think the league is doing a great job staying proactive, giving guys a lot of incentive, a lot of reason, a lot of dinero to stay at home with the team.
And last season, the Sixers unveiling a Dr. J statue on their Legends Walk outside the team training facility.
Oh, yeah, his second statue in Philly. I mean, the other one is down by the stadium. At that Legend Walk, you know who he joins? Wilt Chamberlain, Mo Cheeks, Bobby Jones, Billy Cunningham, Hal Greer. That's some good company to be in. Some great history for the Sixers.
And the Grizzlies with some changes. Clark, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Dylan Brooks comes in for Jay Crowder. And it's Iguodala in for Allen. Now here's Brooks. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Here's Thibault. Pass to Scott. Here's Thibault. Passes to Embiid. Fades. It's Clark with the rebound.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
The basket counts and one. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a three-point play.
The third youngest player ever to drop 30 in the game, Jaren Jackson Jr., looking like a great starting piece for the Grizzlies rebuild.
And Chris, he was the third big man taken in the 2018 draft, but in time, Jaren Jackson could prove to be the best.
Oh, yeah, he definitely could. I mean, he has a high ceiling, but also a high floor. Why is that? He doesn't need the ball in his hands to be successful. With his defense and perimeter shooting, he can already impact winning in a complementary role.
Now here's Simmons. He's got 8. Got a hand on it.
Well, this is where measurements don't tell the whole story. Clark is a tremendous shot blocker despite having an average wingspan.
That's just the product of good pass work. I mean, nice team basketball right there.
And so here is Philadelphia, following the score by Memphis. There's the pass to Scott. Simmons with it. Guarded now by Jackson. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
A triple-double machine. I mean, Ben Simmons surpassed by only the great Oscar Robertson with the pace he's piling them up.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. And you look at the all-around impact of Ben Simmons, already a star and an all-star. You know what, Chris? If he adds a jump shot, how good do you think he can be?
Whoa. Some say you better polish up that MVP trophy. I mean, perimeter shooting, the only thing he really lacks.
Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for Joel Embiid. He hits both from the stripe.
Well, it's clear Simmons is a unique player. I mean, 6'10", a guard, can pass the ball, move the ball, great vision. It's a no-brainer that he's been compared to Magic Johnson and LeBron.
Here's Clark, coming in off a 21-point game his last outing. He kicks it to Morant. A three-pointer, no good.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Iguodala with the steal. And now here comes Iguodala leading the break. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Here's Thibault. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to sum it up. A little more sense of urgency.
Pass to Clark. And it's Brooks in the corner. Clock at 6. Right wing, too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. The Grizzlies shooting their 6th attempt at the charity stripe in the game.
And 75% on the season as a unit from the free throw line.
And so he hits the technical free throw. Well, the Grizzlies' coaching search took 2 months. They finally settled on Taylor Jenkins, a former assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Jenkins, with an economics degree from Penn, fits the young academic profile of this Memphis front office. Worked for the Spurs 6 years as an assistant under Mike Budenholzer, who was the coach of the year in 2019. That pedigree helped him get the job.
Now here's Ennis. Brooks covering. And it's denied. And it's Memphis on the break, the finish, and Jackson throws it down.
Just no denying his athletic ability. Jackson, whenever he sees a chance to attack the rim and make a statement, he doesn't waste any time rising up.
Now here's Burke. The jumper from the free throw line is good. And the 76ers lead by 9.
And you see the ability to rise and fire from mid-range, even against that length.
Yeah, the defender just couldn't quite close the gap all the way and got burned for it.
Here is Anderson. 11 points for him in that last game against Dallas. Iguodala outside. Shoots over Burke. Iguodala, no good.
Oh, he found the open space from mid-range. Just maybe rushed his release a little bit.
Now Burke, and looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. From deep three-point range, and no good on the last second attempt this time. And so it's Ben Simmons making highlights for Philadelphia. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. We come back right after this. James Ennis played in Australia, Puerto Rico, the G League. He talked about his NBA journey and his goals.
Just to be a rotation player. I know I got better. I know I worked hard to get here, to stay here, and just be able to knock down the shot and the three. I want to shoot the ball 40% and above.
And with the importance of the three ball nowadays, Greg, a great goal for Ennis.
He possesses length and athleticism on the wing, and if he can reliably knock down the triple, he's a consistent rotation player in this league.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And looking at what we've seen from the 76ers, what do you guys think?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Yeah, how many coaches say, we want to start fast? Now let's see if they can maintain that intensity.
Scott is out there with Kyle O'Quinn. Then it's Ennis. Then there's Trey Burke. And it's Thibault in a two-guard. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia.
How frustrating for the defense. You get the stop, but then fail to block out.
Yeah, and it's inexcusable. But all too common. Basketball one-on-one. When the shot goes up, put a body on someone.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, Josh Richardson has made himself into one of the top defensive wings in the league. Richardson says there's a certain competitiveness that comes with being a good defender. The defensive end takes will, and I have a lot of it. Kevin J. Rich is self-described as super competitive, and that edge is what drives him.
It sure is. That's what it takes. Thank you, David. Now, here's Burke. Shoots. That one dropped for his second bucket. Mark him 2 for 4.
You know, not necessarily what you're looking for, but still able to convert.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Players have different ways of leading. Some guys, Chris, are loud and fiery. Others let their play do all the talking. What was your approach?
Well, Kevin, it depended on what situation I was in. When I was in Sacramento, I could be the quiet, fiery guy that led through my actions because Vlade was more of a vocal guy, and we had a really good spirited team, so I didn't need to do much besides what we did in practice. In my younger days, when you want to win, you want to get out there, and maybe everyone doesn't have the sense of urgency that you do. You're a little bit more vocal, but I've always believed that the best leaders, no matter how well they communicate or anything else, the best leaders lead by example. And if you're telling everyone what to do and you're not doing it, usually it falls on deaf ears. So go out there and do it by example first, and everybody will follow.
Good advice. Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Valanciunas comes in for Kyle Anderson. And Grayson Allen subbed in for Andre Iguodala. And he's good on the second.
The potential is there. For Clark, it's about expanding the range so that it makes him more versatile offensively.
Pass to Richardson. And he banks in the layup. Richardson's got the lead up to 14 now for Philadelphia.
unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
Oh, yeah, and that's what you love about him. He shows no mercy, even with a comfortable lead.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Here's Horford. Here's O'Quinn. Got a piece of it. Knocked loose. Stolen by Allen. He feeds it to Jackson. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Jackson's got his second bucket of the night.
I tell you, at 6'8", Jackson is a more than capable scorer on the inside. Great at getting close to the rim and just finishing with the soft touch.
Now here's Burke. Pass to Richardson. Now the dish to Horford. Kicks to Burke. Puts up a three. Goes back up, and it's blocked. And so it looks like the 76ers will retain possession here. Embiid, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Crowder, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. Morant comes in for Dillon Brooks. Harris against Jackson. 6 to shoot. Here's Embiid. That shot off the mark. Nice D from Valanciunas. And the wide open shot from Crowder. The quick look, no good that time. Well, it was the Memphis Grizzlies in their last game, a loss to the Mavericks in Dallas. And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Hits the three-point bomb. Richardson's got his third basket of the night right there.
Yeah, he continues to improve as a passer. The sky's the limit for Embiid and his all-around game.
They get a hand on it. Embiid with the steal. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Allen. It's Morant in the corner. Off target from three-point range.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Now here's Burke. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And for the Sixers, the health of their draft picks has been a story. Zaire Smith, Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, all missing significant time with injury.
Health continues to be a key for them. GA. Embiid in particular, he's missed some games last year, missed some back-to-backs, and he's 7'2". You just hope his knees could withstand the grind. They got to keep him going to reach their goal.
He's off on the first.
Yeah, and I love the fans in Philly. They're notoriously prickly, though. They expect hard-nosed effort. If not, they'll let you hear about it.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Jackson's checked in. And he sinks the second. Yes, you're talking about the Philly fans. They were even booing their team in that conference semifinal round against Toronto.
Yeah, they got nervous with the season on the line. You can't take it personal. In Philly, they love you just as much as they boo you.
Now here's Crowder. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Dallas. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Embiid. Simmons checked in for Burke. And so here's Memphis. It's a 16-point game. 4 on the clock. Allen inside the three-point line. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Simmons got 4 rebounds in this game. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And this summer, a 5-year, $170 million max contract extension for Ben Simmons. The Sixers didn't want to give him any cause to look elsewhere. A great talent, but the hope with that kind of money is that he'll develop that jump shot.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Simmons.
Well, Kevin, in the Memphis Grizzlies, playoff contenders for 7 straight seasons from 2010 to 2017. A Western Conference Finals appearance in 2013. Now a new phase as they look to rebuild this roster.
That one misses. And Chris, in the small market of Memphis, there'd been a resistance to hitting that reset button and going young.
Well, yeah, with fan attendance dropping in each of the last 4 seasons, they've reached their pain threshold. And with this team struggling, the writing was on the wall.
For Memphis, they have been coming through at the charity stripe. They've made 7 of their 8 attempts. That free throw good from Allen. Hey, Chris, with Dirk retiring, who now has the best fadeaway, you think, in the game from the post position?
It's a man that stole his move. Now, he didn't need to steal it. He just added on to his game. He's a great person. He's not a thief, but he uses that one-leg kick fadeaway, and he's the same height as Dirk. Oh, that's Kevin Durant, the best fadeaway in the game, period.
Towns is developing a nice one, too.
Oh, you know what? I love Towns' games inside, and what makes Towns so good is that he can fade away over the right shoulder. And you know why that makes it so tough? Because he can come over the left shoulder with a jump hook. Most guys with the best fadeaways, they have a counter that already gets you hung in on that counter, and then when you're thinking about that original move, bam, they hit you with the fadeaway.
Grizzlies on defense. Down by 15. Here's Richardson and Valanciunas with the block.
Oh, a good shot blocker who competes hard on defense. Defenders better think twice before trying Valanciunas. His offense has been non-existent tonight. It's really hurting him.
Now here's Simmons after the miss from Jay Crowder. Count it, good. And here's Morant. Poked loose. And now here comes Simmons leading the break. And he uses the glass on the layup. Simmons got 5 points in the quarter.
His individual effort has been outstanding tonight, and it's helped him grab the lead.
Jackson up top. From 13, connects, the jumper drops. Jackson's got 9 points.
And when he rises up, he knows he's probably going to get a clean look. It's a matter of executing.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be nice to have that combination of height and skill. You know you can get your shot off pretty much against anyone. The D hanging tough and stopping what would normally have been an easy lay-in.
Morant passes to Jackson. Looks good, is good. Bucket number 4 from the field. He's taken only 6 shots.
Oh, no hesitation to get it to the rim. He uses his height advantage to convert the easy one.
Now here's Simmons. He's got 15. The kick out to Crowder. Lets the 3 fly. That shot no good. And the 76ers go the other way with it. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Memphis this season.
And it was a matchup you thought they would have cruised through, but they actually dropped a game in this series last year.
And it's sent back by Horford. And he gets it back.
Hate to say it, he's dragging them down. Not a single bucket this game.
Simmons with it. He's picked up by Morant. And they double up Simmons. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. See, Webb, the NBA always trying to improve every aspect of the game, and that includes officiating.
Yeah, and it should include officiating, one of the most important parts of the game and one of the toughest jobs within the business of basketball. I mean, these guys are making calls on the fly without the advantage of the camera at home that we have watching through the screen, or without the advantage of slow motion technology. So first of all, kudos to the refs that go out and give it their best every day. We have the best refs in any of sports, I believe, and we still need to improve on that. The league recognizes that, and I love the fact that everybody's doing it together.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Scott comes in for Al Horford, and it's James Ennison for Richardson. Then for the Grizzlies, Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas, and it's Iguodala in for Grayson Allen. And Taylor Jenkins wants a timeout.
And with Embiid and Ben Simmons both at their best in the paint, maybe not the ideal fit if you're the Sixers and you had to trade one of them. Which is it?
Oh, man, that's so tough. They're both great players, GA, but Embiid, his health remains a question mark. And Simmons, you know, imagine if you have a team of shooters built around him like Giannis in Milwaukee. That's a tough question.
Already it's February. Let's see how the East is matching up. Taking a look at Philadelphia. They're sitting pretty, second place, and looking to take the top spot.
And I think for the 76ers, they had a few critics coming into the season, and now I don't think they have any. This is a club ready to not only make a deep run, but possibly win it all.
Oh, come on, GA. You know that's the mindset you have to have. They know if they can get to the playoffs, they have the talent to do some real damage.
Here's Simmons. Following the basket by John Morant. The pass to Ennis. Just 5 to shoot. Anderson with the block.
And blocks like this fire Anderson up, which in turn get his teammates going as well.
Checking in for the 76ers. Fire.
1:52 left in the first half of basketball. Pass to Morant. High arcing shot.
The reach of Simmons. I mean, coming into play on these blocks, you got to be careful shooting around this guy.
And now a chance to see what's coming up for Philadelphia. On Sunday, they'll defend home court against the Chicago Bulls. And then on Tuesday, they'll be playing against Lou Williams and the Los Angeles Clippers.
And no secret that this team can be very tough in their own building. And that's good news as they are loaded up with home games over the next stretch. This is a chance to create some separation.
The first free throw is good. Grizzlies making a switch here. Clark's checked in. And so he makes both from the line. 1:33 left in the first half of the game. Now here's Morant. Defense is right there. Another miss. The drought continues. Now just 1 for 9 from the floor.
If his performance this quarter is any indication, I don't think he's the one who's going to let them out of the hole.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And after he missed the first 2 seasons of his career, Greg, with a broken bone in his foot, would injuries be your main concern for Joel Embiid?
Look, no doubt about it. As long as he's healthy, he's an all-league performer. Still, 7-footers carry a lot of weight. in our league. He wants to prove he can play big minutes. They just got to make sure they protect him.
.114 left now here in the second. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Here's Clark. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game. And let's look now at the group of young players that have been locked in from the charity stripe. Your leading rookie free throw shooters of the past month. Take a look at Clark, second in the NBA. So great from the line. And, of course, John Morant. He shows up in that same conversation.
And they're both just fundamentally sound. And their success at the free throw line, I think, bears that out.
And that one misses. Dillon Brooks. He's checked in for Morant. He hits the second from the line.
And you have to like the way he's attacking the defense, drawing fouls and getting himself chances at the line this quarter.
Here's Thibault. He picked up 18 points in their last win against Milwaukee. Shot clock at 6. From deep. The rebound by Anderson. Brooks kicks to Clark. High post try, and he connects with the jumper. Clark's got 5 now.
And I love that range there from Clark. At this point in his development, it's not as daunting as trying to be a consistent three-ball shooter.
Shot from free throw range. Misses off the right iron. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers riding a 15-point lead at the end of the quarter. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Coach, what is your impression of the first half?
We played. And I thought we found a really good balance of posting and pace. It's what we've been talking about. And I thought our defense, for the most part, was excellent.
A good start. We'll see how they finish. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings to each and every one of you watching at this very moment. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here. Shaq is here. One half is behind us. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ben Simmons putting in some incredible work. He had 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. There was a lot to like about his first 2 quarters in this one. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
With everything Ben Simmons gives you, the scoring is gravy. But in the first half, he was aggressive with his offense, getting his shots to go down. A welcome sight for this team.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Grizzlies.
They were not running an efficient offense. The shot selection has to improve. It's as simple as that. Too many guys working as individuals, not as a team. They need to work as a unit, Ernie. Move the ball.
And that should do it. With the second half about to begin, let's send you back to Kevin Harlan. Go back. Kevin Harlan. Go. Go over there.
Can't match my
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. What a game we're seeing from Simmons.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And as they can't slow him down, you know what you do? You keep feeding them and feeding them and feeding them. This is the right game plan.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Kicking off the second half, here's Taylor Jenkins's 5. Crowder in at the 3 with Jackson Jr. playing the 4. Morant now in at the guard spots. And it's Valanciunas in at center. It's stolen by Harris. Goes up and slam dunk by Harris.
Well, once again, Harris showing off his incredible physique. Just really blowing past defenders in the open floor.
The Grizzlies trail by 17. Morant with it. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call.
Taking a look here at the numbers for Allen. How last month turned out for him, averaging 9 points per game, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. And he continues to hone his game. I think the potential is there.
Oh, yeah, you can see the potential, but it's raw. He needs to keep refining that skill set.
Outside, Simmons. A baseline J. That shot is good. He has made 8 while missing only 4. That's 67% shooting.
Wow. Taking whatever he sees in the pick and roll. Simmons, you got to respect how assured he is.
Now here's Morant. Simmons with the defensive effort.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Well, that's why he's out there right now. In situations like this, he stands tall to prevent points.
Three-pointer, Crowder. That one's rebounded by Embiid. Embiid's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Oh, the lob for Simmons. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
And once Simmons turns on the Jets, there's no stopping him. I love seeing him play with this much confidence.
Here's Morant, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on Richardson.
And this kid, Ja Morant, came out of nowhere, under-recruited in high school, showed some promise in that first year of college, but boy, did he blow up.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Morant. And Morant really impacts the game in every area.
It's incredible, Kevin. He gives you the points, the assists, the rebounds. But then you look at the box score and you also see a block, a couple steals. And I like that he shoots a high percentage at the line.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. The 76ers leading by 19. Outside, Simmons. Harris outside. Shoots from the baseline. Grizzlies with the rebound. Valanciunas has got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Morant. And it's blocked by Simmons. And it's out of bounds. The Grizzlies able to retain possession here. Josh Jackson's checked in for Memphis. Timeout called, the Grizzlies. And the emphasis on mobility, a challenge for lumbering 7-footers like Valanciunas.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not going to be the quickest when you're 7 feet tall, Kevin. I mean, in order to earn his keep, he has to be dominant inside. I mean, he has that capability.
Already it's February. Hard to believe. Let's see how the West is matching up. Take a look at the Grizzlies. They're down in the bottom of the conference. Their fans hope they can turn it around and show some improvement.
And I think for Memphis, they talked all offseason about how this year was going to be different. Nobody bought into it then, and nobody's buying into it now.
Oh, we all know talking the talk is easy, but carrying through, that's another story. The naysayers' predictions were basically on point.
Clock at 4. Three-pointer, Crowder. Here's Valanciunas, and it's blocked by Simmons.
Oof, ugly start to the second half. They're still scoreless in their first 5 attempts.
It's not easy to keep him from converting those. I mean, the D has to be airtight.
Memphis moving that ball around. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Oh, man, I love watching Valanciunas score the ball. He makes it look so easy, and he makes the defense feel uneasy out there.
It's his first trip to the line.
And this season, he's maintained very good form at the line, shooting at about an 83% clip.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw missing.
In his native Lithuania, Jonas Valanciunas is the star for his national team, making his debut at age 19, becoming the leader for his country.
Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for the 76ers. And he misses the second one as well, so he is 0 for 2 that time. And it's he delivers that with
I can't
force.
believe it. I cannot believe that.
Terrific at penetrating inside. The mobility Simmons possesses at his size, amazing.
Now here's Allen. Pass to Morant. Back to Allen. There's the 3. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. They'll be playing host to Chicago for their next game. And that's game 2 of this string of 4 games played at home.
Look, I love how Simmons makes his teammates better. He's consistent at looking to get them going.
The Grizzlies have gone a paltry 0 of 6 to begin the third quarter. What a terrible start to the half. Passes it to Morant. He kicks to Jackson. And it's O'Quinn with the rebound. O'Quinn's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Ben Simmons gets the bucket. Simmons got 26 points.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Starting to take over here, building a big lead that could ultimately prove insurmountable.
And finished off by Morant.
You could do that every time up the floor. Put Morant in the pick and roll and just let him go to work.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
And now a quick review at the numbers for Harris. Averaging about 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Fantastic totals for him across the board. I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps rolling.
I think if you talk to anyone on this team, they believe in his abilities 100%.
Valanciunas, good.
Oh, you see how focused Valanciunas is? When he's got this positioning, he's determined to score.
And here's Simmons. He'll bring it up for the Philadelphia 76ers. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half. Now here's Richardson. 7 points in the game. And there's the pass to Harris. Will not go. This is off the front iron. The Grizzlies trail by 21. Nobody near Allen. A 3-pointer off the mark. Outside, Simmons. Pass to Richardson for 3. Jay Crowder pulls it in.
He's got to be disappointed with his performance, but it'll be easier to swallow if they keep the lead.
And there's the call on Tobias Harris. That's foul number 2 for him. And Philadelphia making a change here. Burks is checked in. Allen finds Crowder. Morant with it. From 11 feet away, Valanciunas. And staying with the play, Valanciunas. Valanciunas has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Oh, he's a sensational offensive rebounder. Valanciunas, he just has the nose for where to be when shots go up.
Now, here's Burke. He's got 5. O'Quinn. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Well, small forwards that can rebound the ball, such an asset to any team in the NBA. With now a look at the top rebounding wingmen. Tobias Harris, 3rd.
And maybe they're not the biggest or strongest players in the front court, but that hasn't limited their ability to get in there and mix it up and come up with a lot of rebounds night in and night out.
Well, yeah, one word you always hear used to describe these guys, Greg, is active. They don't leave it to the bigs to do the rebounding. They get in there and they do it themselves.
And Memphis making a change here. Clark, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Kyle Anderson comes in for Crowder. Brooks checked in for Jackson. And it's Iguodala in for Allen. And the second free throw, good. The Grizzlies trail by 20. Now Morant. He's got 8. Nice D from Scott.
Well, he has to work harder to get a good high percentage look. I mean, he's been taking some bad shots out there.
Thibault can't get it to go.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
Excellent D, avoiding fouling and got in the perfect position to alter the shot.
Simmons checked in for the 76ers. So it's Philadelphia now. Here's Thibault. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Six to shoot. Unloads. It's Clark with the rebound. The Grizzlies trail by 20. Brooks outside. Kicks it to Iguodala. Pass to Morant. Over Simmons. And another miss by Memphis.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
Oh, man, an awful display from him so far. But you know he's going to keep working to try to turn it around.
Now here's Simmons. 26 points for him. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. They get Andre Iguodala. The 76ers have shot 10 of 13 from the free throw line.
And as a team, really just middle of the pack in terms of their percentage from the line at about 76.
No good on the free throw. Grizzlies making a switch here. Jackson's checked in. He hits the second from the line. And here is Iguodala. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Anderson outside. Lets a floater go, and that's 2 points on the layup.
I like seeing Anderson look to capitalize from there, showing that nice soft touch on that shot.
And for the longest time, the Grizzlies looking for an answer at the small forward position. 2 summers ago, they signed Kyle Anderson away from San Antonio.
Yeah, Kevin, and he's a unique player. He's kind of a point forward type, very effective around the rim with his length.
Just 5 on the clock. Ennis from outside off the mark. The Grizzlies trail by 19. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket. And this is the time they wanted to mount the rally and get back into it.
Here's Thibault. Pass to Simmons. 1:56 left in the third. Sweet little floater. Simmons got 10 points now just in this quarter.
He's a tricky player. He's so difficult to guard. Simmons excels at going with the floater at the right time.
Jackson misses.
I don't think the D does good enough here, but something causes the miss.
And there's a whistle. That goes on Dylan Brooks. That is his first foul of the game. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. And it's the 76ers with the ball. They have a 19-point lead. 1:27 left in the third quarter. Here's Thibault, guarded by Jackson. 3 on the clock, and the shot goes in. And that's now 7 points for Joel Embiid.
What a finisher Embiid is. He's a pro at not letting the defense dictate to him.
Iguodala finds Clark. There's a minute left here in the third quarter.
Nice interior defense. Can't give him any space inside or he'll burn you.
Ennis with the ball. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Simmons against Anderson. And the rejection by Jackson. Anderson outside. Tipped away. The pass to Clark. And there's the call on James Ennis. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's his second personal.
Here's Clark. He's got 7, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Simmons against Iguodala. Here's Embiid. Shoots from the right block. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
Yeah, Greg, that's just great defense, forcing his man into a difficult attempt.
Kyle Anderson. 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
That free throw, no good.
The multi-talented Anderson, I mean, he's awesome, man. He's an awesome glue guy, if you ask me. Someone who scores, rebounds, passes, defends, I mean, name it. He does it.
And he's good on the second. And so it's Philadelphia, holding a big 18-point lead to close the quarter. They've excelled in the open court. Their transition game has allowed them to build this healthy lead. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
How about the unselfishness? Night in and night out, we see guys trying to force their own agenda. Not that time.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the 4th quarter. Taking a look at the 76ers. We've got Mike Scott. Ennis out there with Ben Simmons. Then it's Joel Embiid. And it's Thibault in at the 3 spot. 5 to shoot. Ennis passes to Embiid. It's good. The assist that time from Ennis. 9 points for Joel Embiid.
And what a baller this guy is, the big fella, Embiid. I mean, he welcomes getting physical and overwhelms the defense with his size and muscle.
Here's Clark. Regarding the overstated pre-draft concerns about Luka Doncic. Even as the game goes international, it seemed like many GMs are scared to go all in on European players.
And rightfully so. It's a new area, and if they're not immersed into the culture, it may be a little more trepidation on that end. But I would just say, just look at the really the great stories, whether you're talking about the Vlade Divas or the Sabos that came into the game, and even you can
Dirk
go to
Nowitzki.
Marshall Monis, Dirk
guys.
Nowitzki. Yeah, come on, Porzingis. We got a lot of great players from overseas that have shown us that they can make the way. But the mistake would be is thinking just because someone lives close to them, they would have the game of a Dirk Nowitzki, and that's not true. So you need to do your due diligence, but I think European players have already proved the type of heart, skill set, and mindset that they come to this game with, which is at the top.
Crowder, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And he sinks the second. And here's Brooks. He'll bring it up for Memphis. Pass to Morant. And stolen by Simmons. Jumps up. And Simmons slams it in.
Well, this is where Simmons does the most damage. I mean, he's an electrifying, dynamic transition player who torches defense.
Now here's Morant. And stolen by Harris. For the finish. And a slam dunk by Richardson.
Well, he's excellent at seeing the floor. Simmons brings a pass-first mentality to this game.
Morant with it. Simmons is there. Brooks finds Crowder. Memphis moving that ball around. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Clark. Over Horford. No good from Clark. 76ers have gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the 4th quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. Basket good.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Now here's Morant. Chris, last season the Thunder became the final NBA team to reach an agreement for jersey sponsorships. Have you gotten used to seeing those patches on the various jerseys around the league?
You know what, Kevin? I have. And they're not as intrusive as I thought.
Me too. I agree.
Yeah, I was so scared of this. I thought it was going to ugly up the jerseys and be bigger than the team logo and things like that. But you know how great this league is when it comes to getting messages out to their fans and promotion. And so we've done a wonderful job. And actually some I really, really like how they fit the jersey, how the colors matches, and the history of the company, actually. So, no, I think they've done a great job kind of just making sure it just slides in there, not taking away the shine from the team.
Harris with it. Out guarded by Crowder. That one falls. Richardson's got 4 points this quarter.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Now here's Jackson. Crowder kicks to Morant. Outside Jackson. Embiid with the steal. Richardson attacking. And a slam dunk by Richardson.
Known for being a scorer, Embiid also is capable of finding his teammates and getting them going.
Here's Clark, guarded by Horford, and Ben Simmons picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Jonah Bolden's checked in for Embiid. Korkmaz comes in for Tobias Harris. Raul Neto's checked in for Josh Richardson. And Trey Burke subbed in for Ben Simmons. Passes it to Melton. And with the likely return of prep-to-pro prospects, Chris, some have argued for a high school combine to help determine who's ready to make the leap and who isn't.
I'm not really there with the high school combine. I still think that, you still have a level of college or a level of professionalism that can happen after. And I don't believe until you're ready to be evaluated for the pros immediately, should you have that combine. Your bodies are still growing. I talked to Jaren Jackson just yesterday, and he told me that he grew 2 inches over last summer. So I think it's a little unfair to judge these guys that early when their bodies and mentality still has a lot of development left.
Now here's Burke. Following the missed shot by Tyus Jones. Tries it from 9. Grizzlies with the rebound. Valanciunas has got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Took him no time at all on that one.
And with that basket, he puts a stop to the 13-0 run there by Philadelphia.
Burke, the pass to Horford. It's Korkmaz in the corner. Clock at 6. The pass to Bolden. Horford trying to free himself up. Bolden, good.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Here's Melton. Outside, Jones. Bolden pulls it in. Now the 76ers with it. Some momentum with a 15-2 run underway. Neto, the pass to Burke. As it seems like some teams have been in rebuild mode for a long time. Is there a point at which the league should step in and maybe, I don't know, take over or give them guidance?
I really do. And not because it's necessarily the fault of the team, because, it's tough to win a championship. But to be a perennial bottom dweller, basement dweller, it's not good for the fans. And fans like myself, every year comes the first game, we think, hey, we could win a championship, we could do it. But, our thought process is not based in knowledge. It's just based in our hope and will for the team. So you definitely want to keep teams straight. You want to keep them honest. And I think the league could find a way to step in but not step on the toes of ownership.
Now here's Burke. Three-pointer. Can't hit that one. Excellent D there from Hill.
He's done a lot of the little things to help put them in front. But his offense has not been there for him tonight.
Melton passes to Valanciunas. Knocked loose, out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession. And the 76ers making a change here. O'Quinn's checked in. Here's Philadelphia. Outpacing them right now in a 15-2 run. Here's Neto. Pass to Burke. Here's Korkmaz, defended by Jones. Shot clock at 5. Fires for 3. Korkmaz, no good. And so it's Jones. He'll bring it up for the Grizzlies. Melton, and it's blocked. Here's Neto, laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Yeah, they're pouring it on right here, trying to give the opposition no light at the end of the tunnel.
Pass to Korkmaz. Here's Neto. Chris, there is that transition from being a player to retirement. It can be a challenge for some. What were the keys that you found in succeeding at that?
Well, first I think is adjusting to the fact you don't have the same schedule. You don't have a physical release that you used to have. You miss the locker room and the camaraderie with all the guys, and so you miss the culture. But secondly, I would say take all the lessons that you learned, and for me this was big, from sports and use them in business. So in business, I became a rookie in other areas. I found a Chris Mullen type in business. I found a Latrell Sprewell type, guys that would mentor you, guys that you would play on their team. Humble yourself, get back to it, get to practice, get to meetings early, stay at practice late, stay at meetings, and be the last one that leaves, and just take the culture of basketball, infuse that athletic personality into the personality of whatever you go into next, and you can use those tenets to have a wonderful retirement and really enjoy it. So for me, it's been awesome. And by the way, I've had twins, and so since retiring, and that'll keep you just as busy as it was you were playing. So you can find ways to keep that same lifestyle.
That's right, and some sound advice too.
Just a late reaction there from the defense, and he is always going to finish that one.
Jones dishes to Valanciunas. Passes it to Melton. Back to Valanciunas. Count it. Valanciunas has got 5 points now this quarter.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the 76ers.
As one-sided as it gets today, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And when it's all said and done here, this will mark their 38th W on the year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Ben Simmons.
He was the one dictating the pace tonight, playing up-tempo or slowing it down, but always scoring.
And Philadelphia has possession after the missed three from Iguodala. Can't connect from long distance. Hill kicks to Jones. Rebound by the 76ers. Now Burke. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.